Whoa! This is the biggest unboxing we have ever done. Just roll the intro. We've heard of many confusing TV panel names over the years, and Hisense adds to the confusion with their own U800 series that has a ULED panel. This one in particular is the 65U800QF model, and before we go any further, let's unbox this first.
A few moments later.
So after much effort, we finally managed to get the TV on the table. The last pieces of packaging that we need to remove are these side thingamajigs that should go off right now. Now we finally got this 65-inch mammoth setup. It was easy enough, well, it's a TV. Now the 65U800QF is a premium panel that packs all the bells and whistles, everything you need of a high-end TV. Now this panel is unique to Hisense in that the U in ULED stands for Ultra, and it's their own thing where they package a bunch of patents focused in 4 main areas: Ultra 4K resolution, Ultra motion smoothness, Ultra wide color gamut, and of course, Ultra local dimming. But before we dive deeper into the specs and hardware, let's talk about how it looks. Aesthetically, it's very simple. There's really not much else to look at because the whole thing itself is the screen. So bezels are incredibly thin, as well as the branding right in the middle. And there's really not much else at the back besides it being plastic. In terms of I/O ports, you get 2 USB 2.0 ports, 4 HDMI ports, and AV in, as well as your power outlet on the left side of the TV. Now, before we get into more details about what ULED is and how it actually looks like on the TV, let's talk about its other selling point. This TV comes with Hisense's own OS, VidaU OS to be specific, and it ships with apps such as Netflix, YouTube, and its own original apps such as Vida Art, Vida Free, and much more. In terms of UI and how it feels, it's actually very intuitive. Everything is really bright and easy to see. All the apps and their logos are easy to see and navigate. But being their own unique OS, Hisense is constantly working on improving VidaU OS to make it even more intuitive and easier to use. And it also supports any viewcast, so you can share or mirror your smartphone's screen right onto the TV. So enough about that, let's talk more about what ULED is. It's Hisense's own technology. Like I said before, it's a bunch of patents focused in 4 key areas. It promises darker blacks, although it's not quite OLED levels. It still uses image processing plus Dolby Vision HDR to give you darker blacks and basically crisper display. It's also a 4K display with a wider color gamut because it has quantum dot technology. Plus, this comes with full array local dimming, which gives you truer blacks compared to edge-lit local dimming, whereby certain areas in your display can be dimmed lower, giving you darker blacks if need be. Basically, it's everything you need in a 2020 flagship TV, but at a fraction of a cost if you compare it to OLED, while performance-wise, it doesn't sacrifice too much. This comes with other features such as game mode to reduce input lag when you're gaming on your PS4, or sports mode to increase the frame rates so that people running on a field can look much smoother, much more realistic. So we haven't been talking a lot about audio, but thankfully Hisense has equipped this TV with Dolby Atmos technology plus JBL's sound solution. So when you're watching action flicks or gaming or listening to music on this TV, audio is going to be super immersive with really deep bass and of course just generally punchy audio. So let's test it out, but you're not really going to see the full effect of the TV through a camera lens. So let's try and get a testimonial from 2 of my bestest friends, Yvonne and Shak.
This is nice.
Right, so you've been playing Days Gone for a few minutes now. What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's sharp, the colors are nice, saturated, just how I like. And for gaming, this is pretty good.
Right, so you mentioned sharp. This is a 4K TV running the game at 4K. Well, what do you think?
I love it. It's a good gaming TV.
So what do you think about the colors?
I think for this game, it's quite balanced. It's nice.
Right, so is it easy to see for you from where you're sitting? Is everything clear?
Yeah, crystal clear.
The TV has really thin bezels, but what do you think?
Barely noticed they have bezels. Yeah, in.
What does it add to the game, you think?
It makes it more immersive, that's for sure.
So I have motion smoothing turned on with game mode turned on. So what do you think about the frame rates and latency, the input latency?
It's not noticeable, so I think it's pretty good.
Alright, okay, so next game. Okay, so we're now playing Final Fantasy VII, the remake, remaster. What do you think?
I like the sharpness. You can see the details on the character's sword.
Right, so it's definitely more stylized now. The game is very different. It's much brighter too. What do you think about the colors?
It works. It's nice.
So again, 4K resolution, ULED TV. How does it work on this game? How does it look?
It's sharp. It's nice. You can see the depth of the buildings. It's noticeable. 2 thumbs up.
Wow, it's a huge TV. Super huge, yeah.
So this is your favorite TV show, Umbrella Academy. What do you think compared to watching it on your laptop all this while?
I obviously love the TV much more because it's super huge. How big is this?
65 inches.
Yeah, I think this is like one of the biggest TV I've ever watched because like my home one is like super small too. And the colors are really nice. Everything looks really sharp and clear. It's like HD in your face.
Okay, so we're watching in 4K. What do you think about Umbrella Academy in 4K?
I think that must be the reason why it's so clear, right? Because it's in 4K. That's nice. Like my TV at home isn't 4K, so this is like, oof, a whole new perspective.
Everything's set at default settings in terms of colors and dynamic range and contrast, and everything is set to default. What do you think? Should it be a bit more oversaturated or?
I think this is great. It looks very natural. It's not oversaturated and it's not washed out. It's kind of balanced, I guess.
I don't know about you, but I need a drink.
So Yvonne, Umbrella Academy audio, what do you think?
Very loud, very clear. I like it.
What do you think about the depth? It has Dolby Atmos turned on, so what do you think?
I think the depth is fairly good. You can hear the vocals really well, but then when the music is playing, you can hear the separation of sounds too. So overall, it's good.
Would you believe this is not connected to any speakers whatsoever? It's coming right out of the TV.
That is actually a little bit unbelievable, but then again, it's a huge TV, so maybe that's why even the speakers and the sounds are like loud.
You who always were a stubborn bastard!
Wow, this is nice.
It looks very real.
This is a 4K HDR content on YouTube right now that you can watch right on the TV. Again, what do you think? 4K.
It's very vibrant. You can see the details of the corals.
Again, this is all set at default settings. The only thing I changed was backlighting. I set it to high. So what do you think about the colors?
I think it's very vibrant. Like the color really pops. Feels like you're in you're underwater if you're not looking at whatever is around the TV, just the TV itself.
Is every part of the picture clear to you, even the darker spots?
Well, the darker spot is basically black, so I'd say every part is clear lah.
So you're on the home screen. What do you think about your options right now as you're scrolling through the options?
It's very minimalist, simple, very user-friendly, I should say.
If you had this TV, what would you watch every day? What would you do?
I'm more of a Netflix guy, so I probably watch a lot of Netflix.
Alright, Shad, so you've been using the remote control for a while now. What do you think?
I like how it has one-touch access to media such as Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video, and other medias. I also like how the frequently used buttons are on the center of the console, such as the options, the back, the OK, and the home, so it's easier for me to reach and navigate.
What do you think about the interface, TV interface?
It's quite easy to navigate around, so I think it will be easy. You know, some TV, their UI can be a bit complicated and it takes some time for you to get used to it. I think this is quite straightforward.
So for 4,999 ringgit, this mammoth 65-inch 4K TV seems to be a bang for your buck option for something that packs all the bells and whistles of a premium TV in 2020. With Hisense's ULED panel technology with the very capable high view chipset underneath, you get impressive high dynamic range output, wide color gamut display, as well as impressive audio to boot. So what other panels can you go for? Well, you can go for an OLED panel, but for a similar size, which is also 4K, this only costs a fraction of an OLED panel, 65-inch model, which costs at least 8,000 ringgit the last time I checked. So visit the link in the description box below if you're interested in getting this TV. Remember to like, subscribe. This is Victor signing off. Bye-bye.